Rabbit Hole Roundup, episode 81. What is the song of the summer? So guys, in today's edition of the Rabbit Hole Roundup, I have some thoughts on the whole song of the summer, and why we might be lacking in options when it comes to that this summer so far, and why I think we need a killer DJ Khaled collaboration.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Or something along those lines, some type of summer vibe with a rap pop song. So a very fun conversation to start things off. Then I talk about Bronny James, and why what he's doing in Summer League so far, although not perfect, is actually very inspiring, and we can learn the lesson with how he just keeps on going and working hard despite all the criticism, and he's gaining confidence and playing great in some of these games. I also have a Channing Frye clip on why a bunch of NBA players are getting these serious injuries, and of course I add my own thoughts onto the topic.
Jimmy down!
And then I have some really great Sam Demma clips, one about a nice act he did for one of his friends who was going through a hard time, and why this meant so much to him, and another clip about why watching the news, or at least paying attention to it too much, will be extremely draining on your mental health. I then have a Lori Greiner clip about why you might be holding yourself back from success without realizing it, and why your limiting beliefs are holding you back from reaching your full potential. And finally, I talk about last week's home run derby, and all my favorite parts and biggest takeaways from it, as well as ways to make it even better. So without further ado, let's dive deeper now. Rabbit hole time, let's go.
This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
What's happening, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Jared Weiss. If you guys didn't know that, must mean not subscribe to the channel so you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, be sure to leave a like, drop a comment, let me know your thoughts on the video. Follow me on every platform, and if you guys haven't done so already, make sure to check out my book, Fight Through It by Jared Weiss. All links purchased on my website, which is jaredryanweiss.com. It's JaredRyanWeiss.com. Buy the book, support me, and also make sure to check out all the awesome shirts in there. Every shirt is still motivational saying, so it's words in it. Every shirt is 100% organic cotton, like the one I'm currently wearing, which is actually a new one I just got a few days ago. So if you guys like what you see, and if you guys want to support me in any way at all, any support is very much appreciated. So let's dive deeper now. So now, the first topic I want to get into is a fun one, which is, what is the song of the summer? Not gonna lie, but this summer, and honestly the past few summers, seem to be lacking in options for this. Is it just me? Maybe it has to do with when I grew up, or the people who I hang around, or the type of music that I listen to, and my own preferences. Which, to be honest, these days, my favorite genre is constantly changing.
It's a fusion of jazz and funk. It's called junk.
I would say hip hop is probably my overall favorite, but I also like pop, I like country, I like punk rock, and also a bunch in between. So I saw a TikTok the other day that said we need a DJ Khaled collaboration summer banger, and I have to fully agree with that. I feel 2015 through 2018, Khaled used to have those summer albums with features from Justin Bieber, Drake, Quavo, Chance the Rapper, Migos, etc., etc., and those were definitely a vibe. And I feel it's time to bring that back, or even some of my other favorites, who for some reason I feel a lot of people don't pay attention to enough these days, are Florida and Pitbull. Not only have those guys never fallen off in my opinion, but their new music is still really good. And while of course I'm not the party type of guy, I do really like the whole summer/party vibes, if that makes sense. My favorite summer songs are that fun rap or hip-hop, pop style or collaboration. Anyways, maybe I'm yapping a bit too much, but I thought this was a fun topic and a fun conversation starter. So anyways, my current favorite songs of this summer are Hoodie Allen's song Pretty Face, which is of course a remake of the Jesse McCartney song Beautiful Soul. And then I also really like Joyner Lucas's new song White Noise. That song happens to have a great flow and some really cool lyrics and vibes to it. Justin Bieber's new album, if I'm being totally honest, wasn't my favorite. Not saying it was bad, but this album was more of his R&B stuff. Which, hey, that's cool, but in recent years, I actually became a fan of Bieber's music, when initially I didn't like it, but his whole variety of pop and rap and all of his collaborations have been really cool. Plus he happens to have an amazing voice, I think. I mean, don't get me wrong, the song Daisies is pretty good, but like I said, I need more of those summer vibes. So anyways, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Am I being too critical, or do you guys agree with me? Next up, I want to talk about Bronny James.
Bronny James, first shot of the game. Hello.
Now, I've been saying this for a while. He just keeps on working and getting better, and I think he's ultimately going to be a really good player. And I've disagreed with all the criticism from the start. I mean, at this current rate, he may end up being the best 55th pick we've ever seen. And I think for athletes, or even just people who want success in any area in life in general, we can learn a lot from what Bronny's doing on the court right now. So far in the summer league, he's been putting up games of 17 points, 14 points, getting a ton of steals on defense, making a bunch of the right reads and passes. And plus, like, he's not backing down from any challenge. I mean, he went up against number 1 pick Cooper Flagg the other day and set the tone right away by attacking him from the start. He still, of course, has his bad games, and he does have, like, his bad shooting performances, but his confidence is definitely growing. He's more willing to make mistakes, and is willing to take big shots and miss them. I mean, like, he did end up taking that last shot in the game against Cooper Flagg, even though he missed it, but yet, like, he comes back the next game and plays even better. He sees and hears all the criticism.
You suck!
But yet he comes back stronger and just keeps doing his thing. Imagine everyone, from fans to people who cover sports on TV. Imagine all those people saying, like, you don't belong, and then you have Stephen A. Smith begging your dad on TV to take you out of the NBA, and yet you still don't let that stop you? Imagine, like, how strong your mindset has to be to have that happen. And of course, I have no idea of knowing what the future holds for him. Like, I don't know where he's going to end up. I don't know, like, how well he's going to play, but I definitely admire what he's doing right now, and I really hope, like, he gets the last laugh. And this reminds me of a clip like I shared a few weeks ago talking about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and how in spite of him being one of the most heavily criticized MVPs in recent years, he used that as fuel to win the championship, and he never really clapped back. He let his actions do the talking. So keep at it, Bronny, keep going, keep proving everyone wrong, and keep proving yourself right above that. As my shirt says, your doubt feeds my hunger, and like I totally see that as being Bronny's mindset right now too. Now sticking with the NBA topic, I want to share a Channing Frye clip that discusses all the serious injuries happening to superstars in today's NBA, and what he thinks is causing it, and then I'm going to give my thoughts.
We're not built to play fucking basketball, idiots. Stop it. It's not the shoes. This is the hard part about basketball. You want to complain about the basketball in the 80s and 90s. Dudes are getting hip replacements, ACL, MCL, knee surgeries. So we as humans are not built to play basketball. And the thing is, let's look. The players are actually better. We get 8 Achilles, but how many less ACL and MCLs are we getting? So the game is evolving. These players are training harder. These players are more talented, training harder, recovering better. We cannot avoid the inevitable, which is people are going to get hurt. Do you want the game to go slower? Well, then guess what? Get ready for this 350-pound gorilla to break legs and arms and fingers, and people get knee surgeries all the time. So the metric is what? Guess what? We're going to evolve and adapt, and there's going to be something else that goes wrong. It's part of basketball. It has happened since the day it started. Please, let's stop with the Achilles and this and that. They're running too much. They're doing this. Fuck yeah, you're running too much. You played 100 games, not including preseason. In practice, fuck yes, it's hard. It's supposed to be hard. These things happen. They have happened every single year.
So, interesting thoughts, like, I don't totally disagree. So now, of course I'm not a doctor or anything.
I'm calling on behalf of my patient, SpongeBob.
But I did actually learn a lot from world-renowned PT/kinesiologist Andreas Saltas, aka the Body Mechanic, as well as from all my own research and all my own personal experience. So the body is incredibly resilient and adaptable. So I don't think it's like that humans aren't meant to play basketball per se, but humans probably aren't meant to play 82 games in the season, plus playoffs, every year, while traveling and having all this constant stress. And also, as Channing Frye just said, the league is definitely faster, more athletic, more explosive than like ever before. So I definitely think that plays a huge role in why all these injuries are happening. It's not that like we're not meant to play basketball, but it is like all the sheer forces. And on top of that, I think like the whole AAU circuit in high school, which I was a part of, so like I know about this, it's ridiculous and inhumane to be playing sometimes 7 games in a weekend, sometimes even more, I think. I mean, all that stuff like and all that stress on the body builds up. And how many of these guys are playing a lot more than like they're actually training their bodies? So what happens when the body can no longer handle the massive forces that are being placed in it? It has to get hurt.
The muscle has to grow or die.
So what's the ultimate solution? I don't know for sure, but I think it's either reduce the amount of games, reduce the amount of traveling, reduce like the crazy amounts of like high school tournaments, or have more rest between playoff games, as Aaron Gordon suggested after his playoff injury. Now moving ahead, I have 2 really great Sam Demma clips. So the first Sam Demma clip is about a really touching story of a nice thing like he did for one of his friends who was going through a rough time. So let's watch together.
I called one of my best friends on the phone. The first thing he told me was that he was still lying in bed. I looked at my watch, it was 2 p.m. in the afternoon. You ever have one of those days where you want to pull the sheets over your face and do nothing? We hang up the phone a few minutes later and the simple thought crosses my mind. Maybe there's something you can do to make your friend feel better. I go on his social media searching for something that he liked. I came across a post on his Facebook. My vote for dinner tonight is #tacos. Simplest idea crossed my mind. Maybe your friend Andrew likes eating tacos. What would happen if you surprised him and his wife Emily with their favorite food tonight for dinner? I pull out my phone, go on Uber Eats, find this taco dinner for 2, punch in Andrew's home address, put a special note for the delivery person that said, hey, these tacos are from your friend Sam, and he hopes you feel better. I'm staring at my phone 20 minutes watching this vehicle take every single turn, and then I finally get the notification. The tacos have been delivered. Within 60 seconds, I get a FaceTime call from my friend Andrew and his wife Emily, sitting on bar stools in front of their kitchen countertop, box of tacos open behind them, bawling their eyes out. Andrew's looking at me through the phone like this. I'm like, dude, it's one taco in a box, relax. He said, Sam, you don't get it. It's not about the food. It's the things you didn't know. You didn't know me and my wife had to shut down our business recently. We had to lay off 2 of our longest term employees because we don't know how we're gonna afford to pay them anymore. Maybe for you, Sam, it's just a box of tacos, but for me and my wife, this is a moment of hope we're gonna remember for the rest of our lives. We start sulking to each other on the phone. One of the most meaningful aspects of life is looking for an opportunity to make another human being feel special, cared for, and appreciated.
Now, in this story, I could totally relate to both Sam and his friend. So, from Sam's perspective, I always try my best to go the extra mile for the people who I care about in my life. And hey, maybe not everyone deserves it. That's just like who I am. I like making people happy and putting smiles on their faces because I know how much that means to me. And this is how I believe I can make the world a better place. You don't need an invitation to do something nice, and it doesn't have to be gifts, doesn't have to involve giving someone money, but however you're able to show someone that you care about them because you're willing to give them your time and you're willing to make an effort for them, that can make someone else's day or year even. Now, from Sam's friend's perspective, being someone who often does nice things for others, and a lot of times I don't get the same effort in return, but every so often someone will surprise me.
You surprised me.
And it feels amazing because it's like, this person does care about me. This person is there for me, and they're listening to me. And sometimes that's all I need to turn around a bad day. A random act of kindness or a compliment can be the best medicine. So amazing story, Sam. And now the next Sam Demma clip that I saw this past week that really resonated with me has to do with why watching the news, and especially too much news, or sometimes any news, can be messing with your mental health and putting your mind in a really bad state.
I refuse to start my day filling my brain with wars, riots, and all the things around the globe that I have no influence over changing. The issue I have with the news is the news only talks about the negative. There are no positive stories on the news because negative is normal. I would much rather wake up, be grateful for my life, and improve so that hopefully I can make a positive contribution to the world.
Very well said, and I fully 1000% agree with that. So, as I've said in the past, and I have plenty of videos on, this channel and this concept was initially based around news stories and conspiracies, and yes, I did always try my best to put a positive spin on everything, and use this as a way in hopes of revealing people's hidden power.
You have powers!
And I still do believe and hope that all those videos did achieve their purpose, and do believe all those were very important, and still are. But then in more recent months, it occurred to me that rather than take the mainstream news stories and try to pull out the good from them, why not find stories that the news isn't covering? Why not find positive news and shed light on these? If everyone else out there is talking about all these negative stories, and most people are going to leave walking away with more doom, more gloom, and more fear, and more anger, why can't I leave people feeling hopeful, positive, and optimistic? Now, is it important to have some general awareness of the news? Yes, of course. But awareness is one thing. Devoting too much time to it, though, will take away your happiness and drain your positive energy. And it sucks to say this, and I wish it weren't the case, but the vast majority of the news out there, I have no control over. I can't sway the event, so whether I watch it and get upset, or tell everyone about it, most likely, and of course there are exceptions to the rule, but that probably won't change it, and is only going to lower the whole collective vibration by spreading more fear, more division, and more hate. But what I can control is spreading positivity, and love and good stories that are going to make people happy. And I believe, and I found this is a way to make an even bigger impact. Yes, there's a time and place for those stories, as I'm always saying, but to focus too much energy on them likely won't bring our desired outcome. Next up, I have a Lori Greiner clip, who is one of the most famous entrepreneurs on Shark Tank, who I believe was also the founder of QVC, and she talks about how you're holding yourself back without even knowing it. Let's watch together.
You might be holding yourself back and not even know it. There's this story about fleas in a jar. Usually, fleas can jump like 3 or 4 feet high. But when scientists put them in a jar and closed the lid, something changed. They'll start adjusting, hit their heads a few times, and then they stop jumping that high. Even after the lid was taken off, they still didn't jump any higher. They'd learned their limit, even though it wasn't real anymore. And the wildest part, their babies, who never even saw the lid, did the same thing. That's what self-doubt does. Maybe a boss once shut your ideas down, or someone told you weren't good enough, and now, without even thinking about it, you don't jump as high. Not because you can't, but because you think you can't. So ask yourself, are you keeping a lid on your own potential? And if you're leading others, are you putting one on them? Because sometimes the limit's not out there, it's in here. And once you unlearn it, you'll see just how high you can really jump.
That invisible ceiling is definitely a real thing. I hear it all the time. People who become so good at self-deprecating while saying how great these celebrities are and why this person is so special, but then these same people will try to hold you back because I believe misery loves company. However, these limits do not have to be yours. Just because others out there are willing to place limits on themselves and what they can accomplish doesn't mean that you have to accept these for you. No one knows what you're capable of because, as one of my shirts says, you are one of one. You could be the one to break new barriers and set new standards, because who's to say that can't be you? If you are the one who's meant to do it, but you never tried, how would you ever know? How will you know what you're truly capable of if you never try for something that's beyond your current reach? So break through that ceiling, break past limits, exceed other people's expectations, and then everyone's going to be wondering how you did it. Now finally in this week's episode, I want to talk about last week's home run derby and why I loved it, but I also saw a post the other day on how to make it even better, and I can't disagree with this person's suggestions. So first off, Cal Raleigh, aka the Big Dumper, continues his historic season by knocking off young star Junior Caminero. The crazy thing was though, Cal seemed to get better as the competition went on, which in the home run derby is usually rare. Usually players get more tired as the rounds go on, but he seemed to have more in the tank. Caminero of course was very impressive as well, as he seemed to have a very effortless swing, and almost ended up being the youngest home run derby winner ever at 22 years old. Now having said that, in my opinion, the most fun derby contender to watch and the most exciting actually ends up being O'Neal Cruz. So even though I was rooting for Cal Raleigh, Cruz is an absolute force of nature. He was hitting bombs after bomb, and he even hit one 513 feet. And some of his others looked further possibly, but the way the ball was coming off the bat, speed-wise was insane. I knew he was good, but how many of us outside Pittsburgh actually watch Pirates games, if we're being totally honest? It was absolute beast mode though for him. Now, to make the home run derby even better, I actually have to agree with a post I saw last week. So the suggestions were, first up, bring back Chris Berman. While once again, you can't make me hate the home run derby or any of the All-Star games, my best memories of watching the home run derby all involve Chris Berman saying, back, 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 gone.
Ouch that is. Oh, it's tattooed. Back, 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 gone.
The aura was wild. You had to be there. Now the next suggestion, steroids. So I'm not about cheating and I'm not for that, nor am I for doing anything harmful to your bodies and for our health, but I can't deny the home run power was obviously better when it came to all these players who were taking steroids. I also agree about camera angle, should be following the ball, and definitely shouldn't be a rush to get through the rounds. Some of the camera angles these days are losing the ball, so it's definitely not all that it can be. Let me know your thoughts on the home run derby. Who did you guys want to win? Who did you think was the most impressive? Is Cal Raleigh going to break Barry Bonds' record in the second half of the season? Let me know down below. So guys, just wanted to add in my thoughts on this year's MLB All-Star Game and also the first ever home run swing-off in history. So the MLB does it again. Another great idea when it comes to the whole home run swing-off. The game itself was awesome. All the star pitchers came out hot. Paul Skeens pitched incredible. Miriowski, the new giant flamethrower on the Brewers, was incredible. Aroldis Chapman closed things up nicely for the AL, and then in the bottom of the ninth inning, the AL actually has a miraculous comeback to tie the game up at 6-6 after a crazy infield single off of Edwin Diaz, one of the best pitchers in the MLB. And then we had our first ever swing off, where Brent Rooker started things off by putting the pressure on that L as he hit 2 home runs on 3 swings. But then it was Kyle Schwarber, the veteran left-hander from the Phillies, who had 3 home runs on 3 swings to win it for them. So overall, a very fun night. And sometimes, I wish, the NBA took notes from the MLB, because, especially in recent years, all the MLB ideas seem to be working. Whether it's, the pitch clock, whether it's the extra innings rule, where the last runner to get out starts on second base. And look, I love the NBA, as basketball is my favorite sport, but like this home run swing off was fun, it was exciting, and all the players tried, so awesome stuff, a lot of fun. Let me know your thoughts on the All-Star game this year. So I'm probably going to be adding this clip into next week's episode, but like I'm going to be posting it the day after the All-Star game, probably. Anyways, I will catch you guys next time. Let me know your thoughts on the episode. If you guys enjoyed the episode, make sure to subscribe to the channel, be sure to drop a like, leave a comment. Stay positive, stay hustling, stay grinding. Let me know your favorite topic. I will catch you guys next time. Much love. Peace.